Hello, good afternoon. Man, what an act to follow. Weren't they awesome? Woo! Well, thanks so much for inviting me to be a part of this event this afternoon. When Martine asked me to be involved, I said yes for probably 3 different reasons. First of all, as the president of CBC, it kind of goes along with being the main cheerleader for the college. And so any opportunity that I have to be able to speak about the college, I'm going to grab that chance. To be able to say, number one, that we just love being part of this community. Pasco is such an integral part of the college, and being part of this community is special to us. We absolutely consider ourselves the community's college. Some of the things that I have been looking at, I've been on the job now for 6 months, and I've been looking at a lot of the different data points for our institution, and some of the things that I've been learning in the last 6 months, some of it's been surprising. I mean, I knew we were a Hispanic serving institution, and 34% of our student population is Hispanic, but when we were looking at the state as a whole, after the University of Washington and after Washington State University, Columbia Basin College enrolls the largest number of Hispanic students in the state. That was really surprising to me, but something that we were really excited to learn and very proud of. And we also learned that we are also the #1 college or university in the state that grants the highest number of 2-year college degrees to Hispanic students. Again, something that was surprising to us when we look at the size of our institution overall, but something that we were very excited about hearing, learning, and very proud of. Some of the things that would connect with the theme of today, with the health and wellness, we have so many programs and so many of our graduates that are coming out and able to walk right into the health fields. But even though the demographics of Hispanics is growing in our country, it's really less than 10% of the workforce in the health fields, in the science fields, technology, engineering, and math that we are seeing going into those jobs. And actually, the Tri-Cities is considered #9 in the country for having great jobs in those fields. And we are always very proud to be able to partner with those businesses and industries and make sure that we have programs that we are preparing folks to walk out of CBC and walk into those jobs, which are really great jobs. And I love being able to hear the stories of so many of our students and our graduates about the difference that the education that they've received at CBC has made for them and their families. Just talking with one of our students not more than an hour ago and sharing how excited he was, where his grandparents are going to be coming up from Mexico to be part of his graduation ceremony in January, and how proud he was to be the first in his family that's going to be graduating from college, and how committed he was to making sure that he was going to be making his family proud. So I love hearing those stories, and so glad that we're able to be part of making a difference in so many folks' lives. Another reason why I was wanting to be part of the Health and Wellness Day was because being healthy really is something that's very important to me. As you can imagine, being president, my job, I have a very full schedule, and I tend to be running a lot. And so one of the things that they don't tell you and how it's important to be successful as a president is to make sure that you're just healthy and that you have the energy to be able to sustain the schedule that you have to walk into. So while it's not necessarily easy to do, my husband and I try to eat very healthy. We try to make sure that we make time to exercise, and especially when we're so busy and are surrounded by so many great fast food options, especially in here. It's sometimes hard to make those decisions, but that's something that's very important for us to do to make sure that we're taking care of ourselves. And so I was really glad to hear about the Evergreen winning the taco truck of the year for this past the taco truck festival that was just happening because of their healthy options. So that's definitely something that my husband and I are going to be trying. And while you might not necessarily be the president of a college, you're certainly the presidents of your own families and your homes, and making sure that we're taking care of ourselves and staying healthy and well is certainly just as important for all of you as it is for me. And then the last reason is, I'm sure like many of you, I've had experiences where I've been frustrated with the medical industry. I lost my mom less than 3 years ago, and unfortunately had to hear from the doctors that, they didn't have the knowledge that they needed to be able to help her with her diagnosis. And so there was nothing they could do except help her feel comfortable, in essence, for the last few weeks of her life. So anything that we can do to provide more knowledge and more research and be part of this All of Us research program to provide the information that the medical industry needs to be able to make sure that no other families have to go through that kind of experience where they have a loved one who is sick and in essence the doctor's saying to them that they don't know what they can do to help them. That's something that I wanted to be able to get behind and be a part of and help promote. So I would encourage all of you to take the time and do the work that's necessary to participate in this research program and help make those kind of experiences for families no more. So thanks so much for coming out today. This is really an exciting event, and my husband and I are really so proud to be part of Pasco now, living here in this town. And thank you again. Thanks for being such a welcoming community. Thanks.